Welcome to Fast Movie Recap. Let's dive into the exciting events of Episode 8. The episode starts at Defne's house. Omer is there, and Defne's eyes fill with tears. She wants to tell him something important: she loves him. But then, she remembers that Neriman, the woman who made her take the job, is her aunt. Because of this, she decides not to say anything. Instead, she tells Omer that she wants to quit her job. Omer looks hurt, but he respects her choice and leaves. Inside, Defne's family sees her crying. They know something bad has happened. Serdar, her brother, feels sad for her. He says, "Sorry, Defne, I'm here for you." Meanwhile, Omer is alone, thinking about all the moments he shared with Defne. The next day, Defne hands in her resignation letter. Omer does not want her to leave, but he does not stop her. Instead, he reminds her about company rules. "You must give 15 days notice before leaving," he says. This means she has to stay for a little longer. Somewhere else, Serdar and Nin meet. They still love each other very much. When they say goodbye, Nin feels sad and does not want to leave. Meanwhile, Defne talks to Sinan, her kind and caring friend. Sinan does not like to see her upset. He tries to make her feel better, and Defne wishes everyone could be as nice as him. At Serdar's CAF, he talks with Iso. Iso warns Serdar, "Don't hurt Nin. He wants to protect her." At the same time, Defne calls Iso and asks him to pick her up. When Iso arrives, he sees Yasmin. The moment he looks at her, he falls in love. It feels like magic. But before Defne arrives, Yasmin leaves. Back at the office, Omer gives Defne a strange task. "Before you leave, you must organize all the shoes," he says. It seems like a punishment, but Sinan helps her. Later, Kore, a designer, sees Defne trying on shoes. He gets an idea. "Defne, you should be a shoe model," he says. Defne is unsure, but Kore promises to crop her face out of the photos. She finally agrees and wears a beautiful yellow dress for the pictures. That night, Omer dreams about Defne. In his dream, she is happy and smiling, but when he wakes up, he feels empty and sad. Meanwhile, Serdar and Nin's love story continues. Serdar nervously kisses her, making their bond even stronger. In another part of town, Neriman and Nikmi talk about Yasmin. Neriman reveals a big secret. Yasmin used a photo to hide something important from Omer. But what is she hiding? Back at the office, Omer sees the shoe model photos. The model's face is not shown, but something about her looks familiar. He asks Kore about it, feeling curious. Elsewhere, Iso's feelings for Yasmin grow. Soon after, he becomes her driver. This new job lets him be close to her, even though she does not know how he feels yet. The most intense moment of the episode happens at Omer's house. Defne arrives, full of anger. "Why are you making me crazy?" she yells. In her frustration, she accidentally knocks over a coffee cup. It breaks, and Omer gets a small cut on his hand. Defne, despite being mad, immediately helps him. She carefully bandages his hand. Omer looks at her and finally understands Defne loves him too. Defne feels nervous under Omer's deep gaze. She tries to leave, but Omer holds her hand. "Stay," he says softly. Defne calms down. She apologizes for getting angry. She decides to spend the night at Omer's place, but she warns Serdar, "Don't let Grandma find out." The episode ends with Defne lying on Omer's bed, smiling to herself. Outside, Omer sits alone, looking at the bandage she placed on his hand. He is deep in thought, realizing his own feelings. What happens next? Will Omer finally confess his love to Defne? And what is Yasmin hiding? Don't miss the next episode. Subscribe now so you never miss an update.